All right, good evening, everybody. How's everything going? I hope you can hear me okay. Today, we're back with another update. Hey, Chetty and G-Man and D Johnson. Oh, crap. There, unmute. I muted myself. There. I get feedback. All right, has the stream started? It just did. So, hope everybody can hear me okay and things get going here. Let's see, tonight's update. We're going to go through a few things. I've been working hard on the map and packing up to move and all that fun stuff. So we will get you caught up on what's been going on if we can there. Okay, it looks like it's up. All right, first things first. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to just show you some of the things that I did this week. Or it's been 11 days. And then we'll go out of the game for a minute and I'll give you a couple how-tos on a couple of the things that I did, and then we'll jump in and do a little bit of testing a little bit later on. Hey, Miss Sizzy, Mr. Sizzy, or I can't remember. Is it Mr. Sizzy or Mrs. Izzy? Anyhow, here we are on the new map, land division map. I did some reworking. We'll show you how to do it. I was able to add, thanks to who was it? Let's see. My chat over here says it was JD Fan that gave me the tip on how to add more land divisions before we had a max 64. I'll show you guys in a little bit how that turned out. And right now there's currently 119. I could have as many as 250 with the new setup, but I have 119 land divisions, so you'll see that the prices have changed, so they're much more affordable. I don't have any money right now, but we can get a little bit just in case we need some. So you can see that the land masses that are around the map have been divided up even further. There's 119 different spots on the map. Also, you'll see that I added in several stations to get the map going as well. I also moved the starting land to these two right here, right next to each other. If you're a single player starting the map, you'll have fields 10 and 15 with the farm in the middle. On the web page, we did a little bit of I put up not a contest, but just a post saying that I was looking for names for the map for town areas. And I chose 4 names, and I wanted to do that so I could have more railroad stations throughout the map. And before, we used to have just southwest, northwest, southeast, northeast stations. So I redesigned the map. There's basically 4 main farm areas. So this is going to be a town right here outlined. This is town 1, fields 1 through 15. Actually, it goes all the way to this border here, and that town is now named Pembroke. So we have the Pembroke West Station, Pembroke East Station. Over on this side of the river, this area that follows down here. Thank you there, Jacob, for the bits. We've got town number 2, which is Stratford, and then town 3, which is this area right down here, is Springfield, and over here we have Littleton down in the bottom southwest corner. That way we have, once you get used to the towns, we'll get some road signs up pointing and all that stuff later in a later release. Right now my focus has been just getting everything to make the map as a playable map for you guys. So that was the first project I did, was updated the land divisions. I got to redo the PDA map because some of the land around these areas has been changed quite a bit. There's a beach along the shore here now and stuff like that. So we'll get that done still. A new PDA map before we get it released. Second of all, I did put in the new transport mission, well, custom transport missions. There's one from the harbor to Sherwood Sawmill. I renamed the forests as well. We have the Sherwood Forest and the Mirkwood Forest on the map, with the Sherwood Forest and the Sherwood Sawmill is right there, and the Mirkwood Forest is way down here, and the sawmill. We're going to take a ride around the map in a little bit. Other changes that we did, you can notice we have added all the fruit types that we're going to do for this version. I ran into an issue where fruit types over the first 32 weren't indexing properly, and that includes like the halms that were added for the onion and carrot. So I think we ended up with we have 2 full pages. I think since the last time I saw you guys, we added in, I don't know if peanut was in, but I also added tobacco, the rye in, and clover. So everything that was in last year's edition, plus the addition of tobacco and clover, is on the map, and we're going to take a look at that. So you can see it's very colorful with all the, we'll see fruit types too, and then some of them might be ready to harvest. Let's jump out of here. I'm going to jump over. We're going to just take a quick drive around. When adding the fruit types, I had to do, it messed up a little bit of well, basically I lost all the grass tree and bushes and stuff, so there aren't any bushes. That's one thing I have to do now, redo all the bushes around the map. I've been working slowly. You'll notice that there's no bushes. I just finished redoing all the grass. There's some weeds up here in the grass that I have in. The only grass I have left, I have pretty much replant, and I do have some areas I want to get grass out of the road still. So I'm doing a lot of touch-up work on that stuff. And I have to still redo the grass on the volcano. So with that being said, we will take a look around. We have several railroad stations. I guess probably the best way to do the first part is to jump in the trains and give you a tour. Let's do it that way right now. Go to my trains. All right, so railroad stations. Let's see if I could stop here. We have this station here. Oops. We went right through it. Well, let's keep going. This is the Littleton Central Station. Each station has its own capacity. There's another one coming up here that's a little bit further north. And I think it's the Littleton North Station. So each quarter of the map has 2 storage facilities. And this one right here is the Littleton North Station. We'll see if we can stop the train underneath one of these. I also extended the trains out and increased their capacity. I'm going to back this up a little bit. If we were to jump onto the big map, I hate when it does that, saving content in the middle of my show. We are right here at the Littleton North Station. And all the stations have 5 million capacity, I believe it is, or let me check that out. We should be able to bring up, yep, 5 million liters per station. Wheat, barley, oat, canola, sunflower, soybeans, corn, potato, sugar beet, wood chips, grass, hay, straw, fertilizer, manure, pig food, lime, mustard, hemp, poppy, hops, rice, millet, onion, cranberry, sorghum, carrot, peanut, coffee, rye, clover. One of the other things I wanted to we're going to make another silo that will be placeable with I'm going to make a new one, but we're going to make silo extensions because all of these stations, if you own them, so once you buy the land, let's buy this land up here. Go to land, this chunk of land will cost us $2 million, but if we buy it, then we can go and we can purchase extension silos. And I'm going to do customized extension silos that are $1 million a piece rather than the small ones. But you will be able to increase the capacity of your individual stations on the map, and you could actually put them all the way over here in the grass. I extended out quite a ways just to give you an idea. We're going to make some larger extensions. Is the map going into testing early, or is it still going to be March? Now you'll notice I have 5,700,000 liters. So you'll be able to upgrade. The map is actually a lot depends on how well my move goes and how quick my internet comes back on. Because right now, I'm guessing that with what's left, no, I'm not going to wait. The first release is going to be without factories. It's going to be farming ready with all the crops, and then I just want to make sure all the foliage is in there. The factories will come when the scripts are ready. Otherwise, it may be forever. But literally, the map itself right now is playable with all the new crops and all the storage and plenty of sell points as well to get you started. So I'm thinking and sometimes the trains go on the same track. I'm thinking that if everything goes well, I will probably have the release to a few select people coming in about a week to 2 weeks. And then we'll give them a little bit of time to test some other things out, and then it will go up. So I'm still looking at about near the end of February, but I think it's going to be faster than I had planned because I worked my butt off and I still have a little ways to go. Yep, there's spots that we need to sell other stuff that need to be added. I've been adding sell points and train stations throughout the map, as well as finishing up the terrain and working on customized missions throughout as well. So if there's 2 tracks, you'll see 2 stations but they're connected. So if there's 2 stations really close by, like so, it's 1 station. Later on after the release, we're going to redo the plots to bring in some decorative objects, crates and all that stuff. This is just to make it functional. We're going to make a lot of placeable objects, especially when the new products, when the factories come, we're going to see if we could do them as placeable so you can put them wherever you want, at least some of them. Some of them will be built into the map. But the goal is to make it so once the factories come along and we're creating products, we'll make placeable sell points as well so you guys can build your own town. So here's the Pembroke East station. And yeah, it's got 2 places for loading. So both trains that come through here will be able to offload and your farms. So lots of storage. 60 million, I think, is the total capacity for the map right now. Well, with the farm silo that you start with, we're at 65 million. And I added 700,000 in extension silos. So you're going to be starting with 65 million. The main station, central station, has a total of what was it? 10 million at the main central station. So lots of storage, lots of crops all around the map. And train loop number 1. You can see there's no bushes. They all went away, but the grass, I'm going to do some touch-up work on the grass still. And then, yeah, once we get some bushes back in and redo our volcano island, which is now called Mount Krakatoa. And the forest right across the campgrounds will be the Mount Krakatoa State Park or something like that. I don't know. You can live without bushes. A lot of people can. The thing is, I want to do some of the landscape, make it nice, and that's one of the things that I don't. I want to get it to where you guys don't have to reset the foliage layers on an update. So getting that stuff in the beginning is kind of important. There's still a few floating objects, as you can see on the map. Um, let's see. But for the most part, the trains are being worked on pretty well. Let's jump over to, there's train 4. They're hauling around. You can see lots and lots has been done as far as grass planted all around. Our boats, I got to work on the splines a little bit for the boats, but there was a lot of work done. Actually, I don't know if you could tell, when I tab in, it now says grain tugboat instead of diesel locomotive. So we have our grain boats, and they now have a capacity of 750,000 with 3 different storage bins on the each boat. So each of them holds 250,000, and we're going to have to test those a little bit later. You'll notice up on the top left corner of the screen, it's tabbable, selectable. I could not make the tugboat locomotive. I was able to load it, but because I wasn't able to select it, I was not able to get it to offload the product. So I can cycle through the 3 bins that are hidden inside the boat. And basically, how I managed to pull that one off, if we look inside the boat, you don't see anything right now, was I basically moved, and I'll show you how I did that too. There's actually 3 hidden grain carts inside the boat. All I did was turn them invisible, made a new copy of the, I think it's a wood chip cart, set its fill to bulk and 250,000, and turned it invisible. I might be able to see it with the wireframe on. No, you can see the outlines of them, but you don't see that there were 3 invisible, there's 3 invisible grain carts lined up in there. So, and I moved the starting point. Hey there, LJ, how you doing? I moved the starting point for the vehicles. Basically, when you build a new train station, there's a front and a back. Well, I made the back really close to the front, so literally there's 3 invisible grain carts floating inside this boat that you can't see, and that's how I made it work. And there's 3 boats on the river. Some of the splines, because the boats are so long, need to be readjusted, but you can check out the interior view. Just because the length of these boats tends to clip into some of the bridges with the splines the way they were. I don't know if this is one of them. Most of them are good, but there's a couple spots that it does go into clipping into the bridge pillars. I think this one's going to be okay. We're going to get into a lot of that later. We'll take a quick, that might be one of the places. It turned in pretty good. Pulling up to a station. So if I had the first one selected, let's see if I can open that menu up. As I pull into this station, there's not going to be, oh, this is a sell point. We are at, if I had anything on board, it'd pop up that we could sell it, but I don't have anything on board. Now this one leaving might clip in just a little bit because it's a tough, yeah. So I got to fix that a little bit, try to get it to go straighter out before I do just a little bit of spline work on the new stations, because these boats are so darn big. And we'll be taking care of that. Yeah, now this one, even though it's called Industries, it's version 1, the Industries aren't there yet. Let's see. We will show you what is there. Like I said, you got like 24 different fruits on the map, which is really awesome. Maybe we can catch some as we go around that are actually growing. All the railroad stations and several sell points have been added, and I, of course, will roll over my truck just to make things a disaster. Where am I? I don't even know where I am on this thing. I want to head toward. That's a station there. We'll head this way. Yeah, the volcano's up there. So one of the sell points is the harbor port, which is right over down yonder. I added and I haven't even tested any of these yet. So there are 4 trains and 3 boats, so 7, and there are several stations. Here are the list of your stations for selling: Central Riverport, Harbor Station, North Riverport, Pembroke Grain, the restaurant, Riverside Grain Station, the 2 sawmills, South Riverport, the spinnery has been added, Springfield Grain, Stratford Pass Station, and West Riverport, and the sugar mill. So there are a few that are on land, and most of them are on the rails for transporting right now, but there are options no matter how you decide to sell your stuff off. And we'll make some placeables for you guys, placeable sell state points. As when the factories come out, we'll add more. We'll probably make one generic placeable where you could sell everything, some type of place that you could pop down wherever you want to get you started, where that accepts all the grains. But there are a couple on the map already right now. And the Giant still hasn't released the update to get my tip to ground features, so the gravel point won't be operational unless that happens like within the next week or so. So the quarry is currently unavailable, and those products have not been added in yet. We have a sell point right over here on the harbor, and we'll get the boat to come in here as well. This will be, but there's a drop-off point right there. The map is absolutely huge. Each of the areas, each corner of the map does have one of the sell points added to it. Thank you there. I got game. I am glad to be back, and I have been super uber busy with everything, working and then working on the map and working on just everything. Now, one of the questions a lot of people have been asking me is, can I make a 16x starter map? Because a lot of people are having trouble with the 16x. I'm not going to take the time to do that. All you YouTube followers that have been asking for that, it would take me approximately to get this back to a starter map condition, as long as it would for me to release this. So you're better off just waiting for the release on this and then using this as a starter map, because I don't want to delay the release. I'd have to literally delay. If I was to make a 16x starter map, I'd have to delay the release of this about a week, because that's about how much, with the time I have available, moving and everything, that would be about how long it would take me to get going. So we're not going to do that. I apologize, but this will be out, and then you can use this as you want to go for it. There are some issues. I think somebody mentioned that there is an issue with mowing grass in some spots of the map that causes a shader error, and I hope Giants fixes that. It seems to be on the further outskirts of this map that it happens, but definitely have some shader errors that pop up when I'm trying to mow grass further away from the center of the map. I haven't done a lot of testing of the mowing. We'll have to do that. There's one of the sell points on the railroads. That's almost every map. Now this one's going to be finished, and then we'll we'll do a little loop around because I haven't even seen a lot of the changes I've done uh, to the map recently. I've just been in the editor. I've seen them all in the editor, but the forest is right here. We're going around the outside of the forest. Yeah, I don't know what causes that, but one of the cool things is we did add clover, which gives you a lot of grass windrow. We're going to take a look at the crops a little bit later to give you an idea on how that works out. Um, and I added in tobacco, and that is also using the baler, the cotton harvester, to bale up tobacco bales. We got to do some cell tests in a little bit when we take our trip around the map here. It's just absolutely enormous with lots of new little things that are being added right now. More of the stuff that we need, like the animal cell point is around the other side of the map as well. Some kind of cool looking views. I got game 18. Yeah. Can I add you on Steam? And I've got, believe it or not, your best bet is to add my Facebook page. Join the Facebook group. That's where everybody is. That's where I've been doing most of my updates, letting people know. Click on the Facebook link because there are so many places, and I need to concentrate my efforts on what I am building rather than trying to keep up with everybody. I apologize for that, but there's only so many hours in a day, and those hours need to be spent now on map making with so much to do to keep you guys happy. So that, I mean, literally, I don't respond to the YouTube messages. I do read them, but if I took my time every day to, I try, and I will respond like I did today for those that are looking for a 16x starter map on my Twitch streams, so that because I will post this to YouTube, they'll get it, they'll know if they watch the latest video. So that's the best way to keep up with everything that's going on. Otherwise, there's so many places. Occasionally, I'll do a tweet out on Twitter. Here is a station that has 3 railroad tracks that come through. So there are 3 different stations on this one for each track. And there will be lots of decorative stuff and design after the first release. But there will also be a lot of room to add on to. I wonder how big, just curious. I expanded the area. Let's go over to this station. Oh, I have to own it. That's right. I keep forgetting that. Let's buy this plot of land where this station is. I want to see how far out placeable silos will be able to be added to the Littleton Central Station, because it's a big station over here. We'll buy that plot. Now, when we purchase silos, you can add on to any of these 3 buildings pretty much almost anywhere in here if you wanted to make this a huge hub for. I'm just going to drop a billion of them just to show you that we can add tons of storage capacity to the different stations. I'm going to make the custom silo, but yeah, there's a lot of room to expand on these stations. Oh yeah, you can really, let's see what we got there now. Lots of room, but there will also be lots of decorative objects out here as well. What if you play on a server who disables the trains? Then what? Then you are going to have to do it all by truck, and there will be truck stations, and yeah, that is something that you can still use these stations to store stuff even though they're not trains. There's a pickup and drop off on each of them. for the trucks. You have the drop-off areas and the silo on the outside, which we'll get into because we got to test some of them in a little while. I have some, and then yeah, you have a pickup right here. They're all activated. Brew Crew, Foliage texture files. You would definitely be interested. They are all going to be out there very soon, but I'll see what I could do. I think I just rolled over. Come on, get back on wheels. Uh, yeah, we will be doing that very shortly. I know there's a lot of people that want them. They take a lot of time to do, but we've got, and some of them aren't perfect. I'm wondering, we'll take a look a little bit later. Like this one here isn't perfect. That was one I imported though. That tier doesn't quite blend. You see the circle around it on that stage of growth, but we're working it out. I'm coming up here because we have to go to the animal cell point that has been added. I haven't looked at it yet. It's gonna break my rollover record. I don't. Yeah, probably will. Uh, so if you had been participating in the 19 version of industry or 17 version of industries, I guess I've got a floating building a little bit there. So yeah, I've been dropping these things in. They need some work. Why is that barrel up in the crate? I wonder why. Did I put that like that? Or was it supposed to be like that? Who knows? But that building is looks like it's floating just a little. Well, maybe yeah, it is. So I got to lower that down a little bit. But your animal trigger for purchasing animals is right here, where you can buy your animals. That's there. New pink pig, pig white, pig black and white. Yep, all the standard animals can be purchased right there. And it's in the same place as we purchased animals before. Have I server tested it? I have not server tested it at all. So that will be what I know some of the people when I do the initial release ahead of time will be giving me some feedback. Troutmouth's going to get a copy. He's going to put it up on his server. So we'll get feedback and fix anything and then do the release. So I am not familiar with many of the server. It should work fine. It'll probably have the basic server issues that all other maps have. If there are, I haven't even played it on single player that much, other than driving around and showing you guys. I've done some testing, obviously, when I put the new crops in and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of work. We've got hops growing right there. A field of hops ready to go. Is there going to be a release party? I'm planning on doing a release party for the map. Yes. When I get a date, we'll put it up there. And there will be some people that will have it. Like I said, a small group of people that have helped me out tremendously. And they'll do some testing. And then we'll schedule a release party based on the initial feedback on server tests and stuff. But single player, I do know that we are pretty much ready to go with all the crops that are on there. We're going to do, there are a few weird issues that I haven't been able to, they're not game breakers. They're, the map is playable and it's huge. Let's go up this way. There's the sugar mill as a sell point is right up this way. I didn't want to add too many sell points right now because when we do get factories and stuff, we're going to have to add dozens more. Just no factories, right? but a 16x map with a lot of land and a lot of different crops and sell points and all that fun stuff. I did go through the city area. Let's take a quick detour here. I haven't checked yet, but I added a lot of little light poles, and there's the speedway, and did added some trash bins throughout the city on some of the building corners. You'll see some of them across the you can see trash bins out around the map. Hopefully someday we can do trash pickups with those like we did on the last map if we ever get the M Company script. And some of the phones are placed around the map as well. LJ, thank you for the donation. Thank you so much for that, LJ Stott. I appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. So I'm going to add more lights and stuff. I just wanted to see how well this main street lit up. I'll probably put another road down the other side on the straightaways. But I'm going to take a turn here, because over this way we added the... it's... Until we have the factories, we do need sell points. So I did add some of the sell points from the current maps, so we have places to sell. They may disappear when we get factories. Let me see. This has no weed, none of the extra foliage right now, just grass. But up, yay! Yeah, that's non-collisionable water. You can drive right through it. They're just like little puddles through this area. We'll head up over here, and there is a sugar mill sell point that has been added to the map, so we can test that out in a little bit. Right there. You would drive in, and I guess I have to add the box, but there should be a trigger right here for selling. Yep, the trigger's there. I got to get the box, or I have them turned off, one or the other, for that sell point right there. We'll test that out in a little bit. That's floating in the air. Yep, we got some objects to move around, but I went all the way around the outside and leveled the place. I didn't look in the very center. I got to lower those down. So there are little tweaks like that, and I know you guys are going to find a lot more. Did I have any issues with the deleted link when I first added them? Train system XML. I haven't had any issues with the train system XML once I figured it out. It's been working just fine. How long have I been back at this? Since the day that Giants released the game. In October, was it? Or early November? I can't remember. But yeah, I pretty much got a copy on release day, and probably a few days later, when I got the editor, I jumped right back into... Whoops, no bridge. Ah! There's no collision plane on this water yet, because Giants hasn't figured out a way. So I'm not drowned. I might be able to get back out. There's two different water levels. Hopefully someday we'll get a collision plane on this water that's on the top part of the map, but right now there is not, because it's on a different level than the main river. There, we got back out. So you can drive in it, but don't do it. Yeah, I've been on for quite some time. Let's see, we got another place down here. Right now we're going through a lavender field that is not completely grown yet. Early stage. And actually, why don't we jump out, and I'll get into the area where on my saved game copy of, because we're going to have to visit a lot of these places anyway to test them out with some of the product that we have. So I'm going to jump out real quick, go to the desktop, give you a couple of quick pointers like I said I was going to, and then we'll jump back into the game. Farmlands XML file. If you want to increase beyond the initial value of your Farmlands XML file, let's see, this is my map folder right here. This is assuming you already know where your Farmlands XML file is linked. Mine is right here. You got to just do two simple things to start. Very first, this is the one I missed the first time and couldn't get it to work. Top line, number of channels equals 8. I believe it said 6 before. If you change that to 8, and take your farmland GRLE file, turn it back into a PNG file with the GRLE converter, which I have right here. Turn it back into a PNG file and then drop it into your map folder where all your other GRLE files are. Mine are map SA. So you'll have your where is it? Is it in there? I thought maybe it isn't in that one. Is it in the back? Maybe it's back here. It's been so long since I did it. Map. I know the XML file is right there. Where does it say it is? It says it's in map SA farmland.grle. Yeah, it was in that map SA folder. And just put back in the PNG file. I didn't see it. Why didn't I see it? Because my eyes are really bad. Forest ground. Where it's map SA farmland. There it is, right there. So put the PNG file in, and then it'll recreate with the number of channels. The other place you have to change the map is open it up in the notepad, and you got to change the number of channels within the map as well. So we'll load that up. There is so much going on in this. I like the way they did it this way with the XML files linking, because you can change things individually pretty easy. But it does add a lot of lines to your XML. So I think I can search for farmland, and right on that line you'll see the file ID points to the file that we have, but you want to change the number of channels in the map right here where it says, I think it said 6, back to 8, and then you will be able to add your 200 million, no, up to 255. It adds 2 new bits, so you get up to 255 different land plots that you can make. That is the first thing. Secondly, I have trains. What I did was, if I look at my wagon wood chips 2, basically copied all the trains into my map, into the vehicles train file. If I look at my wagon wood chips 2 file in the editor, this is actually the one that is on the boat. So I made an exact duplicate of the wood chip wagon, and I just turned it invisible. It's there. I didn't do anything else but make it invisible. If I turn the visibility back on, there it is, but when it's invisible, so it's actually floating underneath the boat. And to do that, when I go to my train, I made a copy of the locomotive. I think it's locomotive 2, is it, or 4? I can't. The one that has the bar. Okay, locomotive 2 is my barge. Now originally I was going to have it pull, but this is so long here. Always create yourself a different camera so you don't move your starting camera. We'll use this one. I replaced my train with a barge, but I kept all the other parts of the train and just made them invisible. Um, so I didn't have to edit a bunch of stuff out. And then there is one thing I need to fix on this that's still there. If I could see it. Somewhere on here in game. There it is right there. Those right there need to be turned invisible because they show up in the game or moved. It's glass. We can just turn them off. Visibility off. Okay. I moved the lights to the front of the boat right there. I thought I moved those lights. Lights. Oh, I moved the bottom ones. I'm going to just turn the visibility off. Nope, I can't do that or the lights disappear. So I'm going to have to make a front light static. That's what we need. I was going to put them right down here. They're the train lights. Front beams I already moved. There, that'll work. I just don't want them floating in the air. All right. What I did for the making the there's let's see, where is it? A front node that marks the front of the barge. Technically, it should be right up here. And then there's a back node. What I did is I moved the back node all the way to the front as well. And that way, when I add the invisible train carts, they go 1, 2, and 3, and they're all actually right inside the long boat, and you can't see them, but they do work, and you can fill them up. So, moving the back node toward the front. If I wanted to add another boat to pull behind here, I might have to adjust this back far enough so that the next linking point is right at the back of the barge. But do have green and red lights for port and starboard? Not yet. I'm not messing with all that stuff right now. This map is going to be a work in progress for a long time. But right now, it is simple stuff. If somebody ever wants to help out and do those little things, yeah, down the road we might be able to jump in there. So that's how I added the barge. We got invisible trains that float underneath it that you can't see. If I turned it on, you could see it, but we're not going to do that right now. Think that is it with the trains. We're going to jump into the game, and we got a lot of testing sell points to do. So let me bring the game back up and jump into the one where I have a few green carts filled up. Hey Shaky and Jay Reedy, how you doing? And Armageddon Night. We are here working hard on this thing. I wanna play it. That's the problem. I want to get to a point where I can start playing it. Once my foliage is done, I can play it when I'm testing it. So we're getting closer to that point, and I just don't like starting a game on the map and then when certain things aren't in place and I have to do like a tree reset or something like that. So all the foliage and trees and stuff, that's what I'm looking to get nailed down and get your starting sell points and get a couple of placeables made that you can add in to start with if you want to add a couple extra sell points. But playable right now, you'll see it's very playable now that I have sell points. I'm at the house. This is the way the house starts out. And I'm going to just tab through till I get to, all right, we've got some offloading to do. Now I did fast forward this game and I didn't take care of weeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load up some of these products, make sure that, and then find out where they sell for the most and offload them one way or another, whether it be on the train station close by because they have to go to a port, or if they have to, we'll fill up the trailers. If they have to go to another place on land, we'll bring them to that place in the truck. Yeah, it does have kind of an Australian feel, but I didn't base it off of anything other than my imagination. So we got sorghum. I'm not gonna, well, we can start that back up for you guys to take a look. Even though there's a lot of weeds, that is our sorghum planted. Just double check that one. It's coming out just fine. Going in just fine. All right, we'll start that up. Then we're going to go over to the rice field because I have rice already started in the front of this. And then we're going to find out where they sell for, where I can sell them off for the best price and see what we get. See if the triggers are working. They should all be working. I mean, I tested the first one and I duplicated it several times with different names. So up here I do have a rice field somewhere. I mean, there's a lot. Watch out for trains too. There's no railroad crossing there. That's stuff that, again, right now I just wanted to get the basics in, and we'll go over this. If factories come, that'll be a delay. Once the factory scripts come, because there's going to be a lot of creating. But once I get to a certain point on the map, then it's just going to be adding detail until I get those factory scripts ready. That's the one I want, the M Company script. I haven't even seen a note on if it's being worked on, but that would be the best. The the M Company script, because most of I've worked with that quite a bit, and most of the stuff I want to do can definitely be done if it's done. Whoops, I went right by. Done like last year or the 2017 version. Global company, that will work. Is there a website link or anything, JD fan, for that? All right. That's what I'm looking for. So once that pops up, yeah, the LS Mod Company, it's called Global Company. I have their website linked. All right, so we got sorghum and rice. Let's check out and see where we're going to sell these things. So I got to get used to the images on some of these. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Sorghum is going to be added in. That's my sorghum. Stratford Grain Station. Rice is going to go to Stratford Pass Station. Okay, so they're both going to Stratford. Let's see, is Stratford Grain the railroad? I can't even remember. And I'm just made it. Let's see. Stratford Grain. I can tell when I get to the map view. Let's see, right here. That is on the railroad, so we'll put this on the train. And we'll be able to hit both of those. So let's go to a local train station. And we'll hopefully grab the right train and bring it over to where it has to go. Yeah, I can't wait. Once we get that, then we'll get factories up and running. Let's see. I'm going to go over to the station over here. drop it off, and then pick it up on a train. It might take a couple transfers, but we're just going to do that because that's what I got to do to test them. Take a turn. I do have to work on some more railroad crossings. I would have loved to take a left-hand turn there, but instead I'm going to come down here. Boop. Oh, I always jackknife these things. It's just my bad driving. I'm not using the steering wheel, and the keyboard driving isn't nearly as good as it was in the last version for some reason. Might be something I have to do. And I'm going to have to make a note of which train goes where, but I know this is, I think, train number 1. It's been a while. All right, back up. Dump my rice. Should come out just fine. Yep, looking good there. And then we have to select U and dump the sorghum. Trying to get one railroad crossing to work with 2 different trains without having to import 2 sets. You should be able to link it to each train. There goes a train right there. Boop. Zipping right through the other station. What train is that? That's the one that I need. Not there. Boop. Back up. I want to jump this train before it gets too far away, because it goes through that station. Now all the stations go through, all the trains go through Grand Central. Oh, it's going down the road quite a ways here. Come on, slow down. Select. Open the cover. We're going to back this up. You found the link. Awesome. We're going to back this up and see if we can offload into my trailer. From, it should offload right from this silo because they're all connected. Just going to go all the way to the front one and load up what we have there. Right. Whoops, stop. I got to get used to this. I hit the wrong button. I hit backwards again. All right. Start filling our a lot of them to scroll through. Rice goes in the front one. It's a little bit off center. Gonna have to move it just a little bit closer to the track. Let's go to the second one. And load up our sorghum. They made a special website for that one. All right, I'll have to look that up, or PM me the link if you can. I should be able to get it in a PM. Right now I'm not going to tab out to turn on links, so unless KW's out there and wants to link share it. All right, we're going to bring this over to, as you can see, we have 3 trailers. And I'm only carrying 30,000 in each, but that's all I need to test this stuff. There's a sell point up here that would take it. I'm going to just go over the trigger. I'm not going to sell it here yet. But I want to see if it, yep, there was a start button there as I went over. Okay. A little bit of sorghum and rice on the train. Now it's a long way around, but the train goes a little bit over 100 miles an hour, which is good. It actually goes all the way across the map, so it might be quicker rather than doing the transfers to jump on the truck and bring it to a closer station. But I'm not gonna. I gotta test some stations anyway, so what the heck, we'll bring it around and see how it works out. I'm gonna bring it right to Grand Central, or Central Station, which means we gotta go through this one. Yep, there's start filling markers there. So how long does it take to go? It depends on the train, and I haven't measured it, but I think it was like 5 minutes for a loop with each train. It will go through Littleton Central, which fill point is right there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when we measured it, it was roughly around 5 to 7 minutes for a loop. Thanks for the link there, Global Company Info. I can't wait to get that thing. Thanks, X-Man, for that. I'm gonna bookmark that because that's like big time. Yep. All right. That's gonna be the change of this whole, when this whole map changes and brings back the factories. All right, thanks for the link there, JD fan, as well, for the forum thread on it. That's awesome. So I do have to get used to. There's a sell point right there. Yep, it popped up. We could have sold off there. But I do have to get used to slowing down the train well in advance of when the main station comes in. Look at that. It's pretty cool watching other trains go by. Head up the river. While I'm here, I should probably, well, we got a lot of tests to do, but I do definitely have to try a test. All right, we'll slow down. I probably waited too long. So I brought back the silos as well from the other map. But you can also expand this station more if you need to. We're gonna dump this stuff. Let's see, go to the first vehicle. Dump my rice. If we go to our stations, rice has 30,000. We just put it in there. But it's going to Stratford Grain. I don't know which train goes to Stratford Grain. I think it's train 3 or 4. I think it's 3. All right, let's move this up and dump the other one. I think it's that one that's going by right now. Stop. I'm going to stop that train before it goes too far so I can back it up. Come on. Am I hitting the right key? They do fly when they're going 100 miles an hour. Because that's the one I think that goes to where I need it to go. Alright, we'll come back for you after I offload this one. Whoops. Which one was it? That one? Oh, don't go away. Don't go away. It's out of control. I thought that they didn't move if they had stuff in them. I gotta dump my sorghum. Hey KW, how you doing? Yep, there's 4 trains on the map. Some of them share tracks. Alright. I'm gonna back this one up and load this because we're gonna go see if we could sell this stuff off to the 2 places where they make the most money. Just gonna do a little bit of testing with the products I have on the map. We've got some bales that have been made that I need to test at the sell points as well. So this one comes back up. I hope I put it on the right train. I can't remember which train goes where. It's been so long since I've messed around with them, but I think this one goes to where I want it. Open the front. If not, we'll dump it off somewhere else. Right now, wait a minute. Am I missing a trigger there? Uh-oh. Come on. Let's try one of the back. Apparently, I have a trigger issue. That's why we need to test. Because I'm not getting a trigger on train 2. Okay. Let's see if this one, we'll bring it somewhere. Let's see if this one's on the rails. But yeah, so there's a lot of little things. I mean, I literally, in the last 2 days, added all the train stations. So I haven't tested every trigger. I'm kind of surprised. I should that one didn't work, to be honest with you. But that's the biggest station. There's 5 different loading and drop-off points. So it could be a trigger out of place or underground or something a little bit messed up. Because it has the boat as well that comes up to Central Station. There's one down here. See if this one works. All the other ones are supposed to be for vehicles. You can drive a vehicle in there. Alright, so that one has a start filling on it. Let's back that up. Load up our sorghum. Move forward. And our rice is... Can't remember which way rice was. There it is. That looking good. And we'll drive this over to whatever places we find. This might be the right train, but I think this one goes to the south loop. We'll find out. The southeast. It might go all the way up there. Oh, I'm getting ready to move, folks. Yeah, February 1st, planned on moving day. So I'm getting close. I'll be packing up a lot. I've already done about half my packing. Got it ready. The stuff I don't use that often, ready to go. Um, as soon as I get in there, I'm gonna get my internet hooked up, my appointment to have it hooked back up over there. So there might be a little bit of a delay where I won't be able to see you guys, and it's going to be a busy week for me, but I will be working on the map when I'm not doing anything. I don't know if I'll have another show till after the first of the year. This is the cell station I wanted, and I'm zipping right by it. One of them went there. Let's just back that up. I wasn't prepared. I was talking and not paying attention, and I drove right past that cell point. Let's see if we can back this thing up. Great demands do work, which I like that. That's one thing that other script set didn't work. That's why I'm going to try to stick to the M Company script this time, because and the in-game features rather than that other Russian script set that we used, if that comes available. We're going to try, see if we can pull off everything with the M Company. It'll be a lot of factory redesign. Let's see. We had race trigger right there. Let's see what we sell our race for. I don't know if this was where a race was supposed to go, but it's going here anyway. $10,000 for our race, our 30,000 race. We'll take the sorghum to the next place. So there's a little bit of stuff designed in here, not a ton. Like I said, all that land is for you guys to build up your own cities. The restaurant is there though. That's a on foot sell point right there. You can, well, not on foot, but tractor trailers can drive in and sell to the restaurant, which we have to test out. But let's see. We're going to head over toward the swamp trees. I put those in this week as well. And a lot of the whatchamacallit, those weeds and stuff in the swamp as well this time around. I just took all of them from the other map, and I don't know if you could see, well, you could see some of them down there. It's kind of hard to see when you're going through the bridge, but the underwater grass and the lily pads or whatever they are. So this one does go through. This is the train I wanted anyway, but I do have to fix a trigger. At least one. Slow down ahead of time. Oh wait, no, that's not where I'm going. I'm going right through this station. That is a pickup. I do have to put the grids down on each of the stations as well. Other than the sell points, the grids aren't on the ground. So Stratford Pass coming right up. Also, I want to take a quick look while I'm over here at the landfill, because I've been just taking objects that are debris and just throwing them in there randomly to make it look more like a landfill. I haven't looked at it since I dropped a bunch of more debris in there that was left on the map. Little piles of garbage bags, and yeah, there's some stuff in there. In the landfill, we have tires. I'm gonna try to fill it up more and more as time goes by. But this is a sell point for the other right here, the Stratford Pass, and that's train cart 1. Dump the sorghum. And we got 16,000 for our sorghum, so that's working pretty good. I'm gonna jump and find another vehicle to. I've got lots of stuff going on here. Uh, Lots of combines, tobacco baling, and here we go. Let's just bring this over to a station close by, offload it. We've got hops and hemp in this trailer. I'm going to bring it right over to this local station and see if we can pick it up and bring it on over to somewhere else. Really, actually, let's drive this one. I just thought about it. I want to, let's see. No, that one isn't. I'm trying to think. And that's always a difficult thing for me to do. Um, let's sell points. Stratford Pass, Stratford Grains. Da 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 da. What did I name the restaurant? Oh, it's just restaurant. Does that take? Yeah, it does. I'm gonna bring this stuff up to the restaurant and check that out, seeing as we're close by. I think we're close by. We'll take half of this up there anyway. And test out that trigger. Yes, our restaurant takes hops and hemp. Don't ask me why. It's right now. It's just to give you a place to sell. Oh, we're on the wrong side of the river. Or the. We're gonna go up this way. Take the grassy route. Dodge the trees. Take the back road to the restaurant up here on the hill. I haven't talked to Big Daddy in a long time. I know he's been working on stuff. I haven't needed him to do anything on the mods yet. When the factories come in, yeah, then I'm going to get in touch with him and see if he can help me work on the transport stuff for that as well. The box trucks and all that stuff, and get the new stuff we need for the map. But right now it's just basically a large version of a single size map because we don't have any of the scripts that are running anything special yet. That will come later. That's when all the fun bells and whistles kick in. Need a railroad crossing right there. It's going to be pretty cool because you guys can really, there's so much land to customize. I want to be able to get different buildings and stuff, even decorative stuff, because this place is just huge. But that'll all come after we see what we have for factories when they come along. Let's dump some of this stuff right here if we can. Come on. Can't we? Or is it doesn't take hops? It does take hemp, I thought. Let's go to tip side back and see if there's a trigger on this thing. Apparently not. Didn't it say that the restaurant took hemp and hops? Restaurant is... No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. I'm being an idiot. It does take... Wait, where is it? Mustard. Alright, so yeah, hemp and hops don't go to the restaurant. I don't know why I saw that it did, because I'm out of my mind. They take tobacco. What else do they take? We need to update the, oh, all the original stuff. I need to go through the crops and add some more restaurant stuff, that's for sure. Alright, that was a wasted trip, but we'll be back. We'll bring it down to a silo, dump it in the drain. Well, it was a fun ride. Actually, I just wanted to cruise around a little. I haven't really, like I said, all this grass painting took forever, and I had to do it twice. That is not fun. The sawmills should be sell points. I can't wait till we get all the factory stuff, though. They kind of seem... Oh, we got to fix that railroad crossing there a little bit. Can't wait till we get the factories in, because the sawmills seem kind of lackluster when all you do is sell wood at them and wood chips. And there's my road. I can't drive 55. Yeah, I always jackknife this thing. Here, let's try the steering wheel. It's right in front of me. Why am I using my left-hand controller when I have a steering wheel? I don't know. But the steering wheel works better because it recenters the wheel like it should. Whereas my left-hand controller doesn't recenter when I let go anymore. It used to. Is there a fruit type limit or a fill type limit? I will say this, that I had it, I bumped up my channels so that I could do up to 64 fruit types, but when I hit 32, and that includes the layers of Halm and stuff, there is an indexing error on the ones beyond 32. So therefore, I could not figure it out. So I kept it to 32, even though it doesn't look like 32. Each of the Halm layers count as one too. If I wanted to, I could add 2 more crops, but I would have to remove the carrot and onion Halm from the, so that they didn't have to be topped first. And that could give me 2 more spots. But also because of that 32 limit, I had to move the forest grass, the grass, and all the bushes to the end, because if one of those, even though they're not fruit types, gets indexed, it kind of takes up one of the slots. So any of the decorative grasses and stuff have to be at the end of the list and stick to 32. I think that left me with 24 crops, but 32. We got the back one first here. Offload. Hops into silo. Is there a mod out there that tells you which station your stuff is in? Because the game doesn't. It would be nice to have it. I mean, without pulling up to the station. That and the digital displays, when they come back, I hope to put them on the outsides of the stations anyway. So, Brute Crew, yeah, I think that right now, unless somebody writes a script to get the indexing done properly, I got a index out of range error or something like that when I went over the 32 limit. Even though I could add them to the map and I can use them in the editor and all of that stuff worked just fine, but I didn't have the capacity for them. Oh, we got another trailer here. What's in this one? Peanut and onion. So we've got some peanuts and some onions. And I'll run those over that station as well. Yeah, still waiting for Giants to fix the tip to ground. I did see in the Giants Developer Network forums that they are aware of the pathing issue and it was supposed to be fixed in the next update, but I have not seen an update to do it. It's just a pathing. I got the file ready to go with a test of a tip to ground built into it, and all I got to do is unhighlight it and it'll be linked to my tip to ground file instead of the default one. And once that comes, then we can get the gravel, the quarry products all in there. So looking forward to that coming along. I'm going to drive across because we tested this trigger. I need to add a railroad crossing in here somewhere so that I don't have to do that. But yeah, I got a lot of railroad crossings to figure out where I'm going to put them. But I wanted to test this silo as well. These two are linked together. I just want to make sure it dumps. I should probably test the loading trigger on these as well. At least once. Here, let's offload the onion. Offload my peanut. Like the iPad mod in FS17. Yeah. That wasn't that? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Um Something like that would be great. Just would be nice to see somehow. I mean, you could tell how much you have in storage total, but you can't tell. I'm going to fill this up here just to test it and see how it looks. Find something. There's onion. That looks pretty darn good. On that side, working good. I'm going to go back over to the other side of the track and if I can get out from under the silo. Nobody said I knew how to drive. I get stuck on everything. Oh man, don't tell me I got it that stuck that I can't move it. It's moving. Look at me, folks. I don't know how to play. I'm stuck. Oh man, don't do that to me. It's getting stuck. What am I doing? My wheels are off the ground up front. We get a head start. Yay, we got it. Almost. Now my back's stuck. You should really try to center yourself up when you go through these things. There we go. We're getting out of there. Alright, so we picked that up. I want to go back to the other side and make sure that other one works too. Cross over the railroad. Start filling with something. Peanut back in there. Alright, that works good. And then we'll get a train over here. Should be one flying through any time now. They're on a loop. Oh gosh, these long trailers. I really need to get a license. Let me swing this around a little bit straighter. Unload. And believe it or not, I did double the offload speed on these. Might go up a little bit higher than it currently is, but I doubled it without even knowing how much. I just know we got so much capacity on these that I wanted to get more speed. Mini Crazy, how you doing? Alright, let's go back to trains. What do we got there? Oh, that's our sorghum wagon. Let's get into train number 1, 2, train 3. Let's see where this one goes. If this one goes by that station or not. We do need to fix it on main station. One trigger to fix so far. Hopefully the rest of them work okay. I'm not going to get to test them all tonight, but I figured I'd do a little bit just to give you guys a little look at the map. I'm going to, after I dump these off, I'm going to grab the bale trailer because I really haven't tested dumping my bales at all. And I need to do that. Is this train going to go where I want it to? I don't know. I think so. I need to write down which rails are on which train. Maybe make a sign for the stations on where each one goes to. Yep, we're gonna go right in. I didn't slow down fast enough. I'll have to back that thing up. I gotta see if I can work on the brake force to slow these things down quicker. I couldn't get it to work very well on 17, the brakes, but I might be able to do something this year, who knows. Although trains do typically add a little bit of closeness to that station right there. All right, we got cart one. We'll load with peanut. Yeah, they do take a long time to slow and stop, that's for sure. Go to the next one. Open cover. Doop. Peanuts in the. Whoa. Oh, I must be still underneath. There we go. Find another one. Onion. I think we got two other things in here, right? There's so many. Oh, hemp, that's right. And our hops should be in here as well. Check it out. Let's go bring them somewhere. And then I do want to save one just to test the boat pickup. So we'll save one of these. Do a little run on the boat. Believe there's a sell point. Nope, not up here. Yeah, if you're used to having to slow down the trains on the regular map that when they're going 50 something miles an hour, try it when they're going 100. You really got to calculate ahead of time where you're gonna start slowing down. What are we, about 103 miles an hour? Yeah, there'll be trailers with bigger, more storage mods. People, I'm sure, will come out with them. Here's a sell point right here. Ooh, can I stop? No, I didn't realize there was a sell point there. I can sell whatever is in the front one, I think. I know I saw a trigger pop up. Let's back that up a little bit. Once I get used to where I'm going, I'll be able to stop on time. I love the game. Been at it since the 2013. So we can sell onion here. Yeah, let's see. Can we sell the first? Peanut. We're dumping peanut. Make some money. All right, that works just fine. Make more use of the mother bins. Yep. This one down here is a train station that we can, another silo that we can store in. So we're just going to zip by that one and see how it works. Make sure we, yeah, we can, the trigger's working because it's popping up, start filling. Now this tunnel I still might remove. I don't like the way, I mean it's kind of cool, but it gives you the, I wonder if what happens if I go to cab view. Yeah, see it goes all funky underground. There, we're back out. Okay, just go to cab view. Then we have a station right here for the forestry area, which is just basically dropped in there. We can sell wood and trees and that stuff. Needs a little bit of work on that, but that is one huge forest. And then we do have a building right down there as well that I put in. I forget which one that is. It might be the wool cell point. I think it's a spinnery right down there. And I didn't rebuild this tunnel yet, but the roof is there. It needs to be blocked in. It doesn't look right. All the little things that have to be touched up. And another station over here. That trigger's working fine. It's just that one trigger at the main station that wasn't working, and there's a cell point that isn't supposed to be there. It's not hooked up. I know that. That was my, I have to take that out. Make a note. Take that one out because I moved it down to the Riverside station, which should be coming up soon. I see it, so I'm slowing down because it was too close to that other train station. So I put in a Riverside station right up here. We'll sell something off over at this one. Onion. That worked out fine. Wow, onions made quite a good penny there. And then back up to the central station, see if I can offload these into central and then bring a boat up and try to fill up the boat. Hello there, train. Start slowing down now, or you'll never get stopped in time. Now this might be the trigger that doesn't work though, now that I think about it. I can't remember which side was the one that we had an issue with. I think it was the other side, I hope. Uh, uh, oops. Back it up. It did work. We can offload here. Hemp. And then switch to the next one. And offload the hops. Well, that's going. We're gonna get a boat. Where are we? Da da da. Boat number 3. I think that's one. Am I going the wrong direction? Oh wait, we want boat 2. And we're up. Oh, it's gonna be a long loop for boat number 2. Because we're on the other side of the river. Night, X-Man. You have a good one. I think I might want to speed these boats up a little bit because 20 miles an hour is just a little bit slow. When you got to do these long river loops. But the capacity is huge on this. You wouldn't want to do this for just 30,000. Yep. That's my work that I've been, a lot of it I did for 17 and now it's just converting it over to 19 and lots of changes being made and a lot more to come back in, but I think the boats came out pretty cool that you could drive them. We're just testing, although we got to speed these up. This is going to take a long time, folks. They are on a track. They are literally like trains, but in the water. It is the train system being used in the water. So you drive it just like a train. It's actually on the train spline, but I made water splines and replaced the locomotive with a grain barge. Not free steering. Free steering has often had issues in the past, but they are now some of the splines, like I said, the boats are longer than they were in the last version, so I may clip into a bridge or two. That's what I'm going to watch for on this loop to see where I have to adjust splines. But this one might be one of the ones it just slightly clips in. It might make it. Oh. Nope, that one worked fine. Got around it just fine. Thing is, we got to go all the way down to the south port and back up to load the grain, which is in that other side. That's like this is like, I think a round loop is about 20 minutes. The other boat might get here faster, but it doesn't hit the ports yet. It hits the Krakatoa port. It's the one port. This one hits 3 different ports. 2. No, this one hits 2. They both hit 2. That's right. This one hits the south and north. The other one hits the Krakatoa port on the volcano and the west port. There's a car going down the road. So I want to bump these up so they go about 10 miles an hour fast, about 32, 33. 20 is kind of slow for such a huge map, as you can see. But it is kind of cool. And we can get a view from indoors. Going down the river. Now, for some reason, when I first move the camera, it jumps to the right. I have no idea why it does that. But I can now move it around. It is the train cockpit put into the boat. So it looks like you're in the boat. I thought it came out pretty good. Looks like we're in a boat. Now, I think that panel up there is supposed to be down here in the hole in the dashboard, but I don't know how it got over there. That little panel that's sitting right up there. I just noticed there's a hole in the dashboard right there. Boop, boop, boop. The way the indoor cam is set, yeah, I'll have to check it out. Yours was backwards? I didn't think, I thought my indoors was facing, yeah, it's kind of weird because when you first jump in, it's fine, but then when you move it, it swings backwards. It might be a camera setting. Good thing is, you fix it in one boat, it fixes it in all three because they're the same. But this boat ride is going to take forever. Because the river's along. Where's the other boat? Is it coming down yet? There it is. What direction? Oh, is it stopped there? That one would be easier. Oh, I think it's going the wrong direction. Yeah, it's going the other direction. So that one goes over to the island, hits the island ports and comes back out and goes to Central Station. This one goes all the way to the South Port, does a U-turn, comes back up to Central. And the South Port is way down there. So it's a long trip. I knew it probably would have been quicker going backwards. But it is what it is. I got to get a boat over there just to test the port. We got a capacity of 750,000. And sometimes they get a little close to shore because there's places where the boats pass each other. They do have to cross each other, I think, once. And they both pull into the same ports, so they could and technically be on top of each other at a port as well. But for the most part, I tried to keep the splines separate so they're passing each other in the waterways without running into each other. Actually, could add a. I was thinking about adding some jet skis and stuff on splines, just decorative to give more life to the water as you're going, or some speedboats. There are some boats on splines in one of the new maps that I can bring in. Just change the splines up. It'll be interesting to see how well this boat pulls into the South Port, because it's a tight turn down there. This might be the bridge that it clips into. But I think it's on the way back toward the port. I know one place there was a little bit of a clipping on the turn. Here, we can shut this menu down. You don't need to look at that right now. Just enjoy the river view. Cruise. But I'll definitely bump the speed up. Try to get it around 30 to 35, somewhere in there for these boats. A little bit faster. They are tugboats, so we don't want them to fly down, but we don't want to take it all day either. Did we go? I think we made it okay there. That was a tight turn. Top lights come on. There is noise to the boats too, but I want to... It's the train noise. I have the sound shut off right now just for broadcasting, but they do make the train noise. I want to see if I can get a different noise. It actually doesn't sound bad. But let's see how well this thing gets through this port down here, if it clips into it or not. And then it's got to go all the way back up to Central Station to reload. The cool thing is I did replace the water plane on the map on the low level here. And there's a lot of area that I could carve out to make this turnaround bigger if I need to. But it's at the end of the river. And we will dress up the ports. I know they're just right now empty looking platforms. Like I said, the decorative stuff will come later on. I just want to make it functional now. I can do updates and make it look better for the next couple years if I want to. First, we got to get it functioning so you guys can start playing, and then stick around for the updates. The visuals will get better and better as time goes on, plus the factories will come in and all that stuff. And that is why I never qualify for the mod contest. Let's see if we can swing this. It's because as soon as I release this as version 1, it will fail to work as available for the mod contest because there's already been a release. I think I'm going to hit the front end of that just a little, so I got to pull it out just a little bit. Yep. So I can't release a version 2 because it'll tell me its map already existed, even though all the good stuff will come along, and I won't have time to start a new map because I'll keep working on this. So I do have to bring that turn a little bit sooner to get away from clipping in, and let's see how it exits because it was tight. You can see we used a lot of the... Yep, it's going to clip when it leaves too, just a little bit. So I got to try to get it to go longer. So those are the little things that I got to fix. It doesn't hurt anything. It's usable, but visually we don't want the boat to be running aground. And I might have to cut into some of the landscape to make the turn. I think I can get away with going a little further that way. It wasn't a problem with the short boat, but the short boat that we tried for this year was too tall and it clipped into the bridges. So I saw these on the other map as just stationary objects and said, hey, let's make that grain barge into a grain barge. I might put a fourth loading point on it. I have to check and see how far back the train actually goes in underneath there, because it looks like there's two bins, but they could be like double-sided into four quadrants. So, but right now it only has three pickups. Yeah, I almost just did two, just to stay with the look of the barge, do two large capacity, but it was easy to fit three inside here. Either way, you can take away one and customize it yourself right in the train XML file. The one boat currently doesn't have anything going on because that was the fishing boat. Hopefully we'll get the fishing back in. Taraman 31. No, that is the whole point behind making sure I get the basics of the map in before you guys start, is so that you don't have to start over with the map updates. In order to do that, the crops and the foliage and the basic landscape has to be near complete. You may have to do little adjustments. If you've been around a while, I might tell you you have to move grass from this spot if we decide to put something in that before you do the update. But basically, it's to get everything in and working so that you don't have to. All you have to do is update the version and continue on playing. If we had to start over every time, we used to have to do that, so I didn't do updates very frequently. I would only go from version 1, then you'd wait another 6 months till you got version 2. Oh, we made it okay through that one. But through the 2017, we found out ways to work around it and update while people kept playing, so it worked out pretty good. And we should be able to do it the same this time around. I did notice something, though, that seems... I don't know if it worked that way in 17 or not, but if I'm working on a vehicle, like say I was working on this boat and I started a game, it doesn't update unless... Like the boats don't update their configuration. Better... If I have, say, it happened on one of my grain headers for the sugar beets, potatoes, not the sugar beet, but the onions and carrots. I had an error in the carrot header, and the carrot header hooked up, but it didn't work. So I corrected it, and it didn't correct on the one I already purchased. I don't know if that happened in the past, but I had to literally sell off the header and buy a new one in order for the change to take effect. So that's kind of an interesting thing. You have to sell off equipment. I don't know why that used to just, if you made a change on a piece of equipment, it would update all the ones that were already in game. But it didn't until I sold off and got the new one. So I'll have to keep a lookout for that kind of stuff. Same way with train configurations. I want to have them set because it seems to me sometimes they don't update correctly if you already have a saved game. Yeah, like the train XML would, if I make a change to train XML and it's already a saved game started, it doesn't update the new configurations. So we'll have to do that fun stuff. All right, we're gonna get there. I tell you, it's a long ride when you're cruising on a slow boat to China here. But we'll select grain cart 1. It's just around the corner and up a ways. We're getting there. They're kind of cool. There's the other boat just stopped over there. If you played the 17 version of this map that was never completely finished, although I do have someone that's been working on the 17 version, as I've been working on this, I'm gonna get a hold of him and see how he's coming. Maybe we could do a release on that, see if how far he's gotten. There was only a handful of factories that needed to be finished on that and a few other things, and I know he's been doing a job trying to finish up the 17 map the way it had planned. That'd be kind of nice. But eventually, hopefully, it'll all be back right back in here. The building bridges and stuff like that were all done, can all be done on the M Company script. Look at the trains fly by. Is there like a, I'm not going to do it now, but is there a cruise control key for the train? Is there like a cruise? Yeah, there is. 3. I could have just... put it on cruise instead of sitting here all this time holding the button down. I could have actually ran upstairs and got a drink in the middle of all this. Maybe I'll do that after I load it up. Because it's got to go up and around to the next part to offload. Just going to bring it up to one of the stations up above. Let's see how this works. We're on cart number 1. Now it should pull into the port okay. Has to swing its back end out a little bit first. I do have some floating objects right there. Still working on, there's some stuff I left in the map just in case I want to use it. But look at that, it gets nice and close. And I should mark the load points, but you just got to look for them. It's kind of toward the center of the dock here. There we go, we got to start filling. I went right through it. Back up, get to the first one. All right. So if we load, our hops didn't finish offloading, well, because I jumped out of it. What do we got up there? Hemp. It's loading up. We've got hemp on the boat, so move up a little bit to the next one. We'll put the hops in, what we have anyway. So you can see it looks just fine. I don't know if we had 3 in there or just 2. 2 will be fine for the test, but there's the third compartment if there's anything left in here. I think we just have 2 things in the main silo. Yep. But we could put a third product in, up to 250,000 of it. Now I think when we pull away from this, we pull away a little bit soon, and the back end clips. So just again, I gotta adjust the splines for the big boat. You can see top down view. It might be okay there. I think it's right when it starts to turn out to the water, it clips in the wall. Or maybe it doesn't. I think it was the other boat that comes into this dock because it has to take a sharp turn. This one looks okay. All right. Meanwhile, I'm gonna run upstairs real quick while I put this on cruise control. I'll let you guys watch the river and let me know how many bridges it clips in. This one's probably the one that I was thinking turns too late. Yep, that's the one right there. It clips in. So I got to make the turns a little bit centered sooner on the bridges. Just a few minor spline changes in a couple areas. And that will be done, but I'll be back in a couple minutes and hopefully I won't be past that next sell point. I see we're still taking a river cruise. Yeah, I think we're going to speed the boat up a little bit. Because otherwise you could spend a whole day traveling by boat. I'd take a whole stream. We're still going to go and try to sell off the bales that I made. Actually, well, if the boat would move while I wasn't in it, it would be nice. But we'll get up here to this port, test it out. Just test it for the offloading. And then we'll jump over and sell off our bales before we end the stream. See if we can load them up. One of each anyway. One of the tobacco bales and one of the lavender bales. Because I haven't done any of those yet either. Haven't sold off any. Just added the sell triggers earlier today. I had today off. So it's just going to go past this grain port, and we'll make the ports Again, I put silos in this one from the last version. Cough alert. There we go. You're ready to play it? Me too. That's what I want to get to, a point where I can start playing instead of while I'm testing, and where everybody else can too. And yeah, we'll just go along. I mean, it's playable. There's a lot on the map that's playable, for sure. Just like I said, little tweaks that need to be made, a couple things fixed here and there. And I'm sure we'll find more. There's floating building. I got some notes I made just from today. But the closer we get, it is actually coming along. Adding the crops and redoing all those was a challenge in itself. Now that they're in, and get the rest of the foliage in, any major landscape changes that I need to do, fix our boat splines, and then we're ready to go. There's going to be a few more buildings that have to come in. I'm going to look for fillable silos for the main farm to start you off with, because there's not much on here. Uh, what you guys might want to start doing is start looking for the placeable objects that are out there in the world. I'm gonna start looking for them and building a library and adjusting capacities and fill types for the time being, so that you can build up your farms and have storage for, the stuff that you don't. But I want it to be placeable so you can choose where you want it to go. It was my dream way back when we did Pleasant Valley fences in 2013 to have a customizable map, and they've really, especially with the terrain editing and stuff, they've given us the opportunity to, with the changes, to make that happen. We tried it, but the engine couldn't handle it before. In 2013, as soon as we had a server filled with people, and as soon as they started adding a ton of objects, it bogged down pretty quickly. So we had to set limits on how much people could do. Yeah, they've come a long way from then. All right, we're pulling up on a port here, and hopefully we'll be able to sell this stuff off. That's all I'm looking for. Um, there is one thing that I have noticed that I have not found a workaround yet, but when I used the file for the port, it kinda, I hope there's a trigger on this thing. There is a trigger, I just hope I hit it. It should be right up toward the center. Oh, I bet you if we switch to the, there we go. Hemp offload. $37,000 in hemp for that little bit. It was worth the trip. Move, oh, switch to the second, and there's our hops. And each of the ports, you just check your prices, but we will speed up that boat. We only had a little bit of hops, but yeah, so that's working just fine. Now make sure it doesn't clip when it leaves the port here. It might. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Just don't turn yet. Don't turn yet. And we're pretty good. Alright, we got out of there. So yeah, boats are working good. There's another one cruising around. The volcano is, nope, it's not on the volcano. This is, let me get a bale truck. We got to get a bale wagon. Grab another man. Yeah, we'll get the default color. And I can never remember where it is, but is it under Baling technology? No. It's under animals? No, it wouldn't be under animals. Where was the trailer? Anybody remember? For the bales. I thought it was under baling technology. I want the big cotton bale. Oh, it's under cotton. Bleh. So we got to go to cotton technology. Where is cotton? Is it in here? No? Hey, Gamer Paul. I'm looking for it. Beet, sugarcane, cultivators, subsoilers, planters, manure spreaders, cotton trailers. Is there such a category? And if so, where? I can never remember. Oh, there it is. Down here. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Let's see. Exit. There we go. We'll hook up a cotton trailer. Cotton tech. Woo! We're not picking up cotton. We're picking up a lavender bale, and then we'll pick up a tobacco bale over here. I did make that go faster, the custom version of the bale or there. It now goes, and you could roll it over, so be careful. But I did up the speed of this thing just recently. Not too much because it does get to the point where, but it goes faster than it did. You can go 29 on it, but at 29 miles an hour, if I wanted to barrel into a turn, I could roll it on its side. So careful on your sharp turns, but it goes faster. What map? This map is Pleasant Valley Industries 19, and it is not released yet. It's for general public, less than a month away. For my testers, it's a couple weeks, roughly. And if you click on the Facebook page link and follow the Facebook page, we'll keep you up to date on where it's going. I am moving February 1st out of the place I'm living in, so this week it's packing. I will be working on the map in my free time, all my free time when I'm not moving or doing other stuff, so there will definitely be lots of hours put in. I might get one more show in before I have to unplug my internet, but February 1st I am out of here and into my new apartment, and then as soon as I get my internet hooked up there, we'll be back and we should see release hopefully mid-February for the, no later than mid-February, Valentine's Day release for my beloved friends that have helped helped me through this troubled time of my life. We're gonna get a release out to some folks to mess around with, and then after that, a little while after that, we'll have the official release. We'll have a party. Don't know if we'll have prizes. We'll see how the cash flow goes. But I always like to have giveaways on the release parties, so we'll see if we can get at least a couple for the release party stream to be coming soon. There was that one release party that we had. Was it the First Industries? We had Viper was here and he collected money for the release party. I think we gave away $900 worth of prizes. That probably stuff is long gone right now till I get myself under. But a couple things right now, a couple giveaways would be nice. Gotta jump over the railroad. I gotta put a crossing right across from there. It was Rivers. Oh yeah, the Rivers release party. I know we had a huge one. It was a lot of fun. It all depends on the finances at the time. All right, so we've got a lavender bale. I'm just going to pick up one of these because, for time's sake, we want to get a lavender bale and a tobacco bale and make sure that they both sell off okay. So, operating position. Beep, beep. Come on. Drive back there. There we go. Lavender. And I have tobacco somewhere. Yeah, 1200 over 12 hours. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Maybe we could do a long stream again. We'll have to see what things look like. I'm just busy. I'm trying to work. I work about 35 hours a week now at Walmart, which is 35 hours that I don't have that I used to put into the map, and I'm still doing probably another 40 a week easily on the map. Let's put it this way. While I'm doing the map, if I'm not I haven't streamed a lot, but I've been watching Netflix, and I started my Netflix account on the free month 2 months ago, and I've been streaming and watching Supernatural, which has 13 seasons, and I literally have only watched it when I've been map making, and I am on third. I started in season 1, and I'm on third. I got like 2 episodes on the last season 13. So that just shows you how much I've been sitting in front of this in the last 2 months working on this map when I am home. But it's gotten to be the point where a lot of it's just, especially painting grass and stuff, is second nature. I need to be doing something else, so I watch Netflix while I'm doing it. Let's see, load position, pick up a tobacco bale, and we're gonna have to find a place to sell them. So, we'll go. I'm probably gonna bring them over to the harbor, but let's see. I think I have 2 locations set up. Let's see. Whoops, wrong button. I have 3 locations. I could sell it at the restaurant, the spinnery. Oh, the spinnery will also take the lavender. It won't take the tobacco. But I'm gonna sell at the harbor station, which we can tag. Can we see the tag from over here? That's the tough thing on a 16x map. You might not see the tagging of the place because it's like a mile, 1,000 miles away. But I know where it is. It's blinking on the mini map. Just don't see the big beacon. It's going to be kind of cool to bring in the new factory scripts, and just wanted to give you some variety. The hops is done with the corn header. Most of the stuff's done with the grain header. But I also can make it so we can use the grain header for tobacco and have it both give you the option down the road of doing it with the grain header or baling it. The map is not ready for download yet. Lunia 197 is still being worked on. It will be ready in about a month for you guys, so like that Facebook page, keep track there. We'll announce when it's going to be released. Uh, Sin, thank you there for the follow as well. Yeah, it's getting closer. It's needs some more stuff done to it, but as you can see, it's functioning and large. Uh, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming in. A lot of street signs and stuff will be after the initial release. It is right now. I'm just working on getting it to a point where people can play and just start harvesting buying their fields and doing all that fun stuff. And then we'll get to adding more functions as the scripts come available for the factories and stuff. 16x map, so it will only be available for PC. You won't have it on your Xbox or your PS4. We're just going to head across town here. Lots of land that you can decide what you want to do. I might even divide these up a little bit more with into smaller chunks, but this whole section right through here is just like there's nothing there yet. If somebody comes out with a plane that works in multiplayer, I'm adding airports all over this map too. There is a BGA on the map right now. And it's surrounded by a lot of grass, but you have to buy it first. Well, you don't have to buy, you have to buy the land around it if you want to. Let's go back. Your biogas plant is right here. This is all grass field right now, right through here, all around it. So, but there's your BGA. You can visit. And it's literally, there's a castle up on the hill. Hey, you can see the green little beacon in the distance. Castle up on the hill, but all the grass field around the BGA. All the grass you need to harvest. And there's a extra place around it if you want to add more bunkers. I'm gonna try to get a place. Is there any placeable BGAs out there yet? Because that's ideally where I want the whole map to go, is people to be able to put their own BGAs on their own farm in each town. You know, there's plenty of room for multiple BGAs, but I want you guys to decide. So we're gonna see if we can get a placeable BGA in here and build up your own. I mean, there's a lot. This is one of the farms, the starter farm. There's 4 areas that are like this, but you can see that there's lots of room for you to customize. I did put a lime silo in, but there's plenty of room to put animal pens or anything around each of the farms because it's a 16x map, and you can build this up however you want. You could put a BGA here. There's places across the street, easy to clear out. Put BGA. We want to have eventually placeable orchards, hopefully, that you can put whatever you want, wherever you want, placeable tank stations. Or you can plow it into fields. Buy the land and plow it into fields. But we'll give you kind of a random setup for whatever you guys want to do. And you can use the custom animal pens that people have. I know I saw a couple of those out there. I'm going to make a library of that stuff, see if I need to make any changes, and go from there. I know that's animal capacity. That's a tobacco bale on the back, and in front there is a lavender bale. Just a couple different bale types added in to give the cotton machinery a little bit more use. I can make a bale out of anything. I could also make it so you could have a choice between baling and using a grain header. I didn't put these two on the grain header right now, but I could put baling is like an extra thing. You just add it into And I could give you guys a brief overview on how that's done too before we finish up. But right now I'm just heading over to that little beacon to see if they sell off okay at the station, because I haven't sold the bale, but I did add them into the trigger, and according to Giants, the trigger should take anything bales or whatever. I'm cutting across the parking lot here because there's no road through here yet. You can make your own, but there is a road. Oh, it's over there. Yeah, it's up here a little further. I'm gonna go down and see. Thanks, Diesel Gamers. I'm glad to be back. This trailer only holds 2. We gotta get Big Daddy to mod a hitch or something to get a couple more. So if all works out well, the only other thing I didn't check, which I will see if there's any available, but let's come up here and if I pull into the trigger, what do we do? Pull like right here and then hit unload bales and see what happens. Is it supposed to sell bales? It's a bale sell point as well. Yep, there we go. Sold bales 30,371. So there you go. As soon as it releases it, you have moolah. So that works fine. We can sell them off. We can loop around the outside. So not a bad haul for 2 bales. We're gonna get placeable station types, but again, I'm gonna wait to do a lot of the individual. I just wanted to, with this map right now, get places for you to sell stuff, because when the factories come, when those scripts are ready, which we do know they're being worked on, the M Company Global script or whatever they're calling it, I got the link, Global Company Info, that is when things are going to take some serious changes, and you won't be wanting to sell the products off directly as much as you want to bring them to the other factories. So I'm looking forward to when that happens. I want to jump in here and see if there is any missions that aren't. There's a baling mission on field 55. Ha ha ha. No. Not currently on this. Oh, Speedway, transport. Owner offers. I also want to see if there's a way to customize the value. Transfer items from Speedway to the shop. Well, the vehicle shop's really close, so I'm going to accept that contract and purchase. Oh, let's see. I wanted to. Well, what do we want to get that we can. No, let's go back. Get something a little bit faster. Wheel loader. I want to see if those things. And do we have the forks for those things somewhere? Wheel loader. I imagine it's a pallet fork I need. I don't know what's down there, but we're going to find out. It's not far down the road, so it's a perfect little mission to try out. And adding a lot of those in. Are they going to? I'm hoping that we can make buildable placeables. I don't know what's going to be available to do until I see the scripts. If it's anything close to giving us the options that we had on 2017, we should be able to make factories that we can build and first place them and then build them in place. And that's what I really want. I don't, not all of them. Obviously, I'd like to keep the fuel is already there. It's just not working. The silos, I have the models, and it would be nice to just be able to transfer them over. But that's what I want to be able to do is you choose where you want to put it, drop the factory on the ground. I do have the textures missing on that wall still. I gotta find that again. And then you guys decide where you want them to be, especially in a multiplayer game. I think it'll be fantastic. Now, according to the XML files, but I haven't played any multiplayer, if you have multiple farms, all the silos work. It looks like the silos are per farm. So if you pull up to Central Station and fill it up with grains, they're not available for the other farm, but they can use the same station. Is that true? So all the stations will have each farm's own supply, but if I set it, that's the way I set them up in the XML file. That's what it looks like. I haven't done any, but that's going to be kind of cool. So you all have the... What do the land plots look like? They are large, but I will show you them in a minute, Diesel. Once I check out this Speedway delivery. I wanted to just see if this is working okay, because I did add, it's kind of cool that it came up to Speedway, because I can add delivery missions to any place that we want to name that's already on the map. I can put one up at the museum, all that kind of stuff. But I do have 100, we originally used the 64 land plots. I upped it. There's 119. There are several large ones that I like it that way because it's kind of like if you're, my thought was, I don't know if you guys agree with me. I like progression, something to work for. Dividing the whole landscape up into tiny little pieces would be kind of, I could do up to 255. I may divide a couple of more of the areas, but I do think like I have the volcano all as one piece, but it's very high priced. In the transport mission, there's a spot that says mission reward scale. All right, in my current one, they didn't add that in, but thanks for that information, Brute Crew, because that's what I was looking for. Something to change the reward scale on these, because it's a 16x map, and to have a small reward scale for driving 10 times further is kind of ridiculous. But here I have this mission at the Speedway. And if I can get the pallet fork in there and deliver that up the road to the vehicle shop, I think we'll be all set. You can only have 10 animal pens per, is that, I forget how that worked, but wasn't that 10 per farm? Oh, placeables you would be able to have as many as you want. The animal pens is strictly a limit they set, I'm pretty sure, for their lag purposes, but you can add as many places. I mean, that's a lot of navigation meshes for the animals be running around. So there are reasons. I mean, I don't know if the limit of 10 was per, I thought it was more, but 10's decent. 10's a lot, especially if you get the edited ones that can hold more animals. We'll look into that down the road. 10 per map. So it's gonna, that's what I was, when I was doing the land division, I figured if you're playing a multiplayer map, give people something to try to strategize to get to. you know? So, like the volcano, do you save every penny and don't buy anything, or do you get equipment and who's going to play and who's going to reach, be able to purchase the whole volcano island before the next team? Same way with the city. The whole city is one, or do you want to? Because there's not a lot of places you can actually do much around the city, but you will be able to have some factory spots eventually when we get to do you want to be in charge of the city and give each team of players on a multiplayer game different places to strategize on how they want to do it. So there are several, like the whole mining area is right now one big land spot. Uh, and those places cost millions, whereas the smaller farmlands cost a lot less. So how you want to do it, what places you want to purchase, it's all up to you. So there are some very large ones and there are very small ones. But I'm going to see if I can drop this off. It should be the vehicle shop right up here. And I know how to add extra missions. I'm going to see if we can get some extra pallets or extra stuff to deliver. I really want to customize the crap out of this, but it's a time thing, so some of the customizing will come after the initial release. Get you guys playing, then each update that we do, small or big, will give you guys more and more stuff to do. Keep the map going for a long time. That's the key. We've got plenty of land and plenty of places to build. It's either going to go forever or we're going to lose it. I think we drop this off right here. Transport finished. So if the transport is finished, we go back into do we have to go back into here somewhere? Where is it? To collect our money or transporting? Oh, now there's a harbor transporting. Or did it already give us the money? Oh, speedway completed. Collect. That's how we do it. So, there we go. Transport mission worked. Or just play single player and have all. Alright, so land divisions, and then we're going to call it a night. We got. So, this is what it currently looks like. Let's zoom out a little bit. Get the whole map in there. One more overview before we leave. Fruit types added. We've got starting, the new ones are right from sorghum, millet, rice, hemp, coffee, cranberry, hops, lavender, carrot, onion, poppy, mustard, peanut, tobacco, rye, and clover. Now, if we counted those, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And there's 15 there, 30, plus 2 for the 2 homes I added, and that's as many as I could get without getting it in the carrot home and the onion home. And that's as many as I could get without getting an indexing error, but I think it's plenty. There's 32, and I don't want to go much more than that. Whoops. Because with 32 and a 16x map, it is going to be crazy. So land divisions are as follows. You've got pretty much each field and its surroundings, and you can see the prices. The bigger fields, obviously, that's a million. There's small, like factory plot where factories used to be. They're just trees now, but 325. You could see a couple 341, 245. The old farm station there, 363. So you're going to need a little bit of money to get one of the bigger pieces. There are some smaller pieces, like especially down here on 39, you can get that spot for 132, or start your farm on that little one right there for 67,000. Build a house, a couple silos. So I added several little spots. There's no fields on those yet, but there is 119 different divisions. Here's one that goes all the way around the city area that used to be here. But if you want to just purchase the blocks inside, you can buy it by each city block and build it up, or do whatever you want. So lots of more options, but at the same time, it's going to cost you $11 million if you go for the volcano island. It's going to cost you $6 million if you go for the mining. You've got the forest areas. The two main forests are 5 million, and forest number 2 is also 5,700,000. The city itself is $9 million to purchase the whole city. Then you have areas like down here. It's a big area of nothing. That's where the fairgrounds was going to be eventually. There are big plots for you to decide which you want to do. This plot right here is the grassland around the BGA. It's only 2,308,000. For single players, your starter fields are these two plots right here, 10 and 15, which are if you start with the farm, actually this is how you start. For starters, if you start new farm with the house and everything, you get the house, you get the whole shebang here with this little house. You get a plane. You get... Alright, we'll start over this way. There goes a train. You have this whole piece here and this field right here. That field is one of the fields you get from a new game, and it's a large field, plenty to start. Goes all the way down to the train station down there. You have all the land in between these two, so you get the house and the garages, and across the way a nice place to build. So this is, yeah, you can build up this area as much as you want. You have a silo right here already in, and you have a lime silo back there. There's going to be some more silos for storage of fuel and stuff like that. You have a couple of buildings right here. There are 4 trains and 3 boats on the map, and then you've got these equipment sheds ready to go with all these tractors. Because if you're a single player, you're going to start the game like this, you want to have some equipment. So what you see is you get 2 combines which are already out in the field with both, and you get a variety of tractors ready to go. Medium and large tractors for this huge map. You get this pickup truck. You get that trailer right there, or forage wagon. A front loader, weeder, cultivator, seeder, and you'll start with, there's the corn headers, but also the combines that are out in the field, the plow, and a trailer that I filled up with seed bale, a bale trailer, but I loaded it up with seed pallets for now. It's all in-game stuff, and you get close to that bale trailer, it already lags out because no. But all this land right here, and then you have this over here to do whatever you want with. This is all part of the starter field, and this is your other starter field right here. So all the way to the end of field 10. So a couple huge fields to work with a lot of room in between them to build up your starter farm if you're on single player. I mean, these fields are big, very big, and great place to start. They don't have anything on them. That's up to you. Ha! I might plant a starter crop on there. I haven't decided yet. We shall see, but the fields around it are growing already. You're watching the info page. Yes, stick to the streams, and yeah, I don't have time to do info pages and stuff. Like I said, it's all into map making with this monstrous thing. I will give you a quick look. So that is your starting area, 10 through 15, those two lands right here. Lots of room around them. Everything else needs to be purchased. I will jump in and show you what happens on a new save game if you decide to go the hard way. Let's see, we'll go career, save game 3, start from scratch, continue. I have the placeable version of a sell point just because I was testing it for when we make our placeable sell points, and it's going to work out just fine. When I can make, I used it to test, but yeah, I can make placeable sell points when the factories come in. It'd be about a month. Yeah, about a month away for the first initial release, which has a long way, not too far to go. I got some more stuff I want to do before we release it. But it's very playable right now. Just there's going to be some things that still need tweaking, and I need to put some more foliage bushes and stuff like that, and I got to repaint the grass on the whole volcano because I lost it all in when I added the fruits in. So if you start in a new world from scratch, you get your $500,000. Now you figure it out. Here we are. And we own nothing. So if we were to purchase that same piece, we're going to have to run some missions, but we could afford a smaller one, but we have no equipment. So you might want to take a spot like this just to get yourself started. If you're going from scratch, one of these smaller spots that you can build up around. Or you might want to buy your own first field. You can buy a whole field right here, field 39, and then just park your equipment next to it until you can afford to build up from there. But 500 grand ain't gonna get you a lot. If we buy that. Now if we go to, can we travel right to field 39 somehow? Was there a way? I don't remember how. But yeah, we could purchase ourselves. You know, this would be the tough way. You're gonna have to start out with your smaller equipment, or lease. You could lease stuff. Yeah, the fields don't look big on the map, but when you drive on them, you got that right. You do have you do get the starter equipment even on if you for one farm. So this is your starter equipment, but you don't get the barns or the house or anything. So you'd have to move all this stuff down to wherever you want to start. If you're a single player, you do get enough stuff to get yourself going, buy yourself a field close by and start building. But you have the lime side. So this is on a game from scratch. You got your equipment, but no barns. And you've got no house. One thing I wanted to do, I'm going to add, because I never I'll take this tractor over there. I don't know how well this will work out. See, we lost a lot of stuff, but the house place was here. There's just no house. So what are the chances of me being able to place the house right where it was meant to be on this plot? Any idea how easy that's going to be? Let me get some extra cash. Doop. If I wanted to go to, and I want to see if I could add some additional farmhouses, but if I want to add this in where it was, oh, I got to buy the land first. That's right. So let's go to the land and buy it. Yes, please. I want to see if it can place it in there without any issue. Or is it going to... Oh, I think we can. We can get it darn close. Is that the back or the front? I can't remember. Do, 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 do. I think we got to spin it around. Which would be... Which button spins the arrows, right? I can't remember which side. Oh, that's the front right there. I think right there. Let's try it that way. Maybe not. It would fit the other way. Collides with an object. I can get it in here. I can't remember which way the original was, but I can place the house like that. Or can I? I thought I could. I could put it right in like there. So yeah, let's see. I don't think that's the way it was originally, but you could put, yeah, it might have been. It works. So you could put the house in still on the original piece of property. The walkway is there. Yeah, it works. It's not 100%, but hey, you can landscape around it too, a little bit. So yeah, you would start without this one, or you can put your house anywhere. But you do have the equipment to start. You're just gonna have to work missions. Let's see how the missions look when we start the game. We could do the speedway to the harbor for, we got field 60 fertilize, field 59 harvest, field 42. So money to be made if you need to before you want to get your first plot of land. You could definitely start off well on the map and then build up your barns. However, you don't even have a silo here, but you do have the train stations not too far away. But that's the whole point behind this, is to give you guys the tools to build it up the way you want. If I wanted to put the silo over here, for instance, we can go to, and I included this silo that holds everything right here for 500,000. Whoops. We can put it wherever we want. We don't own this land yet either, though. Ha ha ha. So we'd have to start it over here. Let's see if we can put it right here on our little piece of property for now. I think I'll put it right there on my road in. And then you could paint it up around it, but yeah. So build it the way you want it. Howdy, Troutmouth. How you doing? Good to see ya. And Marmalade, good to see you. We're just getting finished up around here. I'm just messing around right now, kind of giving you guys an idea of what's coming, and coming sooner than I expected originally if all goes well and I don't run into any major issues. But build your own farms up. Put your own silos in. Let me see if I can get back to my vehicle, my car. Trains are running. 24 different fruits. 4 trains. 3 boats that act like trains. And there goes a train. And like I said, I just want to put in bushes in some areas, give the landscape I mean, it looks pretty good with just the grass, but I lost my bush texture when I added the rest of my crops because I had to do some moving around of different layers. And all the bushes are gone. I'm going to add some back in, although it looks pretty cool with just grass, and you can cut trees and mow forever. Little things need to be done, but the whole island needs grass. The whole volcano is void of foliage, but also I want to expand the transport missions. I mean, we have the monastery up here on the hill that I want to add in as part, and I want to see if I can alter the palette types of add some different products that we're doing on the missions and the prices. So you can see there's no foliage around my trees. I got to replant all my grass and bushes around all the palms on the volcano all the way around. That is the next big step for me to do. That'll take a good several hours, but hopefully I'll have that done the day after tomorrow, and then go around the whole map and put any bushes in where I want them, and we'll be ready to go shortly after that with some new missions. Yeah, give you guys plenty of landscape to build on. It'd be kind of cool to see what you guys end up doing. I mean, you could literally, with this new engine, you could alter the volcano itself in areas and build up fields around it if you want it. Clear out the areas, build fields, put vineyards. Can't wait to see what we get coming down the road for the M Company script. It's going to make it really awesome eventually. I already like the fact when I started on 19, it was either that or finish up 17 and wait, but I jumped onto 19 just because I wanted to get the palm trees on the island so I could cut them. And then after I did that, I realized in 17 now we have the palm tree models, so the cuttable pine trees are in version on 17. Eventually I'll re-release that, but I do have a guy that's been doing some work. I want to see how he's doing. He might actually finish the 17 version up and get us. There's a lava flow coming down the mountain. We just crossed over a bridge. The lava runs underneath down into the water. Get some steam effects and stuff. I mean, there's so much I could do and ideas that I would love to put into this thing. But we got to get the necessities in first and then work the other stuff. We can have transport missions on the pier. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Do the easy stuff and make sure we don't lag everybody out, and then we'll add the more interesting stuff when the factory scripts come out. I mean, we got a port over here that isn't even being used because that's our fishing port. When fishing comes, we got to rebuild the fishing port right there. But we added the beaches in, and all that fun stuff. Just kind of pretty awesome. When will it be coming for 19? And well, the first version it is going to be without the factories. because we don't have the factory script yet. Thank you there, Big. What is that again? I can't. My oh my gosh, I need new glasses. Big Tigger 2017. Thank you so much for the follow. The first version of this will be coming in around a month's time, but it won't have the factory script or the factories running yet. And it is just going to be basic, get yourself started farming, and then we'll update it as time goes by. And you won't have to do restarts. We'll just make more stuff for it and add it in future updates. So yeah, this one wasn't, well, it was kind of released. I gave the link out to a lot of people. People have it. 17 is still there. It's never was completely finished because of personal issues I had to deal with. And I do want to see this completed, but I figured why not try to complete it in 19 and take advantage of all the new features that are coming along, you know? Keep us playing. So that's what I did. Starting piece by piece, we're reconstructing whatever we can. It's not going to be the same as I planned, but it will definitely be uh, a map that's going to be kind of cool to play. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on that 17 map. I don't know about the crane and building bridges if we'll get that, but we'll definitely have tons of stuff to do. You still play PV17? Yeah, that was a pretty good. The first one, a lot of people play that. It was basically going to be bigger than that. I mean, the factories are here. They just need some workings and some tweaks. But yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome when it's done. We've got people walking. A lot of this stuff came in real easy from the last map. We just need the stuff to work. And then we'll be good. Anyway, guys, I think it's time for me to hit the hay. It was a pretty long stream, 8, 9, 10, 11, over 3 hours tonight. And I got to get some sleep because I got to work in the morning. And then I have the day after that off, which I'm going to be packing up and getting ready to uh, keep working on this map, get it back into shape. I still might replace the vehicle shop, even though it's fully functioning now. I actually have it so you can sell the vehicles off. I didn't test that yet. I put that trigger in as well the last day. Let's check that out and make sure it's working. Vehicle sell trigger, please. Yep. It's all good. Open the shop menu. Okay. So yeah, you got the vehicle shop. Got the new place, Trout, moving in February 1st. And fortunately, I couldn't have done it without your help and all the donations I received from you guys. Speed 508, thank you for the follow. I really truly appreciate it. You will be looking for, you're first on my list to get a copy of this in the very near future. I just want to get it to a point where you don't have to do restarts, so it's only a week or so, a couple weeks at the most away once I get moved and set up. But yeah, I needed that rent and security deposit, and it is actually the same amount I've been paying here, so uh, it's doable with my job. Now that I have the place, so I'm just waiting for the key to be handed to me, and then we'll be moving in. So thank you so much for that, and it was definitely a huge help. I don't know where I would have been without it. I'll be sleeping on a park bench in a week. But it's relieved a lot of stress and let me just focus on doing this, working on this map and waiting the time. I just can't wait. It's a really nice, clean place, new appliances. Basically, the guy redid it a month before. Uh, there's one person in there. He's only been there a month since the whole place was redone, and it's a college student that decided that he can live cheaper on campus, so he's moving out after only being there a month. And I got to look at the place, and it's just really clean. It's not in the best neighborhood. I mean, it's in the city. I'm not a city person. I'm up here in the country right now, but it's on the outskirts, and it's a nice street and a nice small place, very clean and very small, but it'll work. Yeah, so I think we hit just about everything on here. Did the sugar mill over? Did we ever go into that place? We got all this, the biogas plant, Central River, the sugar mill. I haven't tested the visit points. Um, we've got some barrels that probably need to be. I mean, I just dropped these in today, so there's some adjustments that need to be made. Like the barrels, obviously, it's stuck in the porch. Um, oh yeah, the silos in the middle have to be lowered, and probably the ones over on the other side. But I even did it the way it was in the other map, and I have the water. I put in a water plane in the sugar mill area. I wonder if we could put like. I wonder why that is in there. It's just a pool. I don't know. It was in the other one. That's why it's on the river. Oh, fence is floating in the backyard here. Gonna have to raise that up. So yeah, lots of little things that need to be done, but those are coming as we go around. And the restaurant, we didn't really. One thing that I have to tell you guys, I haven't figured out how to do it, but the places that are in the water on the river, I don't know. You're gonna be swimming if you go to them. Because there's no play. The points are right at the trigger, so don't transport to them that way. Uh, for now. Let's see. Restaurant. See, the point puts you right at the trigger point. So if the trigger's in the water, that's just where you appear. It's kind of weird. There's no like separate visit point in the menu. But here we are at the restaurant. And I think that was... Oh, there was one place down here we didn't see. The spinnery is in right here, where you sell your wool. So, what the heck? Thank you so much, Speed508, for the donation. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. It's a big help. I'm going to save some of that for the release party from you guys because I am set for now. So we got the spinnery right here with a couple of, it's like the start of in the city areas. You can build the rest of the city up yourself as or the town as you see fit when the time comes, but I put in the necessary buildings for you to get started. Of course, you're going to have to buy the rest of the area to build it, but the spinnery right now also takes lavender. And why do the markers disappear when I get closer? I have no idea if it's just too close to the ground. It wasn't in the editor. But yep, must be just underground. But the spinnery, oh, floating objects. Yeah, they weren't on level ground, so I got to go through each of the ones I dropped in and obviously fix some building things, and it'll be good. Yeah, there's a lot of... I did fix this whole corner. I didn't even go around the whole thing to notice that, yeah, we've got a couple of issues floating in the air. But those are the things that I got to take care of before release, get them done. And I'm sure you'll find some that I missed when I get it released out there. But either way, it's getting closer. Definitely getting closer. And I can't wait to start working on it and farming and building factories will come eventually. The scripts are being worked on. That's a good thing, and we'll see how it works out when that time comes. But right now, I'm going to bed. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you again, Troutmouth, for your help out there with my new place. And we will see you. I'm going to try to get one more stream in probably just before I move out of here. So it would be Saturday or Sunday. And I'm not guaranteeing it because I do have to move. But we'll see what happens. I got a couple days coming off, and I'll be working on the map, and maybe we'll get closer. We're getting close. We're getting very close. So you guys all have a great night, and we'll catch up with you. Thanks again for the donations there, LJ and Speed 508. I really appreciate it. We'll see you all next time. Keep an eye on the Facebook page for the next stream. We'll catch you later.